Hello everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Mejabin Fatima, a teacher at AhleBait High School and Junior College. In this session, we are going to start 7th chapter of Social Studies from 7th standard. And name of our chapter is Handicrafts and Handlooms. So basically this chapter is having two parts and now we are going to start part 1. So let's begin with our chapter. So first, here is a story given of a person who is a basket maker and he is from Andugula. Polaya is a basket maker from Andugula village in Madugula Mandal, Rangareddy district. He is about 35 years old. He belongs to Yerukula, a tribal community. His family has been weaving baskets for generations. Bhagyamma, his wife, also works as a basket maker. They have 3 children. Polaya father, along with 25 other families, came to the city about 30 years ago as the demand for baskets and had declined in their native village. He sells basket on the pavements of Chadar Ghat in Hyderabad. So Polaya is the name of a person who is a basket maker and he is from Andugula village, which is in Madugula Mandal, Rangareddy district, and his age is 35 years old. He belongs to Yerukula, which is a tribal community, and his family is weaving baskets for generations. Bhagyamma is the name of his wife and he is also having 3 children. So basically this Polaya, he came along with his father to Hyderabad about 30 years ago. As the demand for baskets was declined in their village, so they have migrated towards the city and they sell baskets on the pavements of Chadar Ghat in Hyderabad. Polaya uses the spines of wild date palm leaves to make baskets. Using a knife, he slaves off the leaves and keeps them in hot sunshine to dry them. The raw material, wild date palm leaves, are brought in bundles from Andugula, their native village. His relatives in Andugula collects the spines from bushes around their villages and sell them to basket makers like Polaya. So Polaya, he used the spines of the wild date palm to make the baskets. He is using the leaves of palm. So he uses a knife to shave off the leaves and keeps them in hot sunshine to make them dry. And this raw material they are getting from their own village, that is Andugala village. So his relatives or natives selling those pine leaves to the basket makers. And this Andugula village, it is about 60 kilometers away from Hyderabad. Each bundle of the date palm spines cost Rs 120. Polaya and other basket makers usually bring 10 bundles for 2 months. Polaya family makes 25 baskets from one bundle. 10 bundles of spines would give them about 250 baskets. It takes 30 minutes to make a basket. He weaves basket from 10 am to 5 pm with a few breaks to eat and rest. So each bundle of spines, it will cost 120 rupees. And Polaya and other basket makers, they usually bring 10 bundles for 2 months. And from each bundle, Polaya's family is making 25 baskets. And it takes about 30 minutes for them to make a basket. He weaves baskets from 10 am in the morning till 5 pm in the evening. And he will take few breaks to eat and rest. Polaya sells each basket for Rs 20. Sometimes customers ask for a bigger basket for family rituals. These are sold at a higher price depending on the amount of raw material used. He sells baskets throughout the year. So throughout the year or whole year, he is selling these baskets and he is selling per basket at Rs 20. And customers will ask for and sometimes customer will ask for bigger basket for their family rituals. So these are sold at a higher price depending upon the amount of raw material which has been used for making that particular basket. In 2 months, he sells Rs 5,000 worth of basket. The cost price is Rs 1,200, excluding the transportation charges Rs 100 for every visit of his village. So the income of his family is about 3,700 for 2 months. He does not earn sufficient money to meet his family's expenditure. To supplement his income, Polaya buys and sells bamboo products like trays and strands. So for every 2 months, he is getting 5,000 rupees worth of baskets and the cost of price is 1,200 excluding the transportation charges. So basically his income is 3,700 for 2 months, which is not sufficient for his family expenses. So to supplement his income, he buys and sells bamboo products like trays and stands. Basket making is a craft that involves the use of wild date palm leaves, cane and bamboo which are found in forest. There has been depletion of forest due to their extensive exploitation for big industries. This affects the livelihoods of people who have traditionally depended on forest. Further, the demand for such products has reduced considerably. This forces them to move out of rural areas and migrate to urban areas for survival. So, basket making, it is a craft work which involves the wild date palm leaves, but due to deforestation or due to the industrial revolution, many people, they are cutting the forest and they are utilizing that place for their industries. So, due to that, there is a extensive, due to that there has been depletion of forest due to their extensive exploitation for big industries. So, which is affecting the livelihoods of the people who have traditionally depended upon the forest for their livelihood, and this forces them to move out from the rural areas and to migrate to urban areas for their survival. Let's see about urban slum. Polaya lives in a slum which does not have proper drainage, so it emits foul smell and breeds mosquitoes and flies. There is no electricity connection or safe drinking water. Polaya's hut is made of bamboo mats and recycled plastic bags and tarpaulin. During the rainy season, the roof often leaks and the huts are flooded. Sometimes the municipal corporation officials evict Polaya and other basket makers' families. Despite struggling hard, people like Polaya have been denied voting rights in the city. In fact, they have been denied ration cards as they don't have any proof of identity or proof of residence. Thus, they cannot either participate in the democratic processes of the city or avail the facilities meant for the poor. So, Polaya is a person who is living in a slum and he does not have a proper drainage, no electricity, and it emits foul smell and breeds mosquitoes and flies. There is no proper drinking water for them, and Polaya is living in a hut which is made up of bamboo, mats and some recycled plastic bags and tarpaulin, and during the rainy season his hut will leak the water from the roofs, and sometimes their huts are flooded, and sometimes the municipal corporation, they will ask the Polaya to evict his hut, and sometimes the municipal corporation people, they will ask these slums to evict their huts. And despite struggling so hard for their survival, these people, they are not getting voting rights even, because they are not having the proof of identity, so they are not having the ration cards and they are not having the right to vote or to participate in any kind of democratic processes. So, these families, they are not availing the benefits or facilities which are specially meant for the poor. Let's see about the basket makers. People of Yerukula tribe are usually involved in basket making and live in different parts of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. They are from Yerukula tribe and they are usually involved with the activity of making basket, and they are living in the different parts of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and they are called as Yerukula. After that, women's traditional profession of fortune telling, Eruka Chepputa, people of this tribe speak Yerukula Bhasha. Words from Telugu, Tamil and Kannada languages are used in this language. So, their women's traditional profession of fortune telling is Eruka Chepputa, and the people of this tribe, they speak Yerukula Bhasha, which are from the words of Telugu, Tamil and Kannada languages. By now you have learned that goods such as baskets made of bamboo and etha require simple production using very few material, mostly made of natural resources. There are many other goods which require raw material to be processed in a more complex way and complex tools. Cloth materials made of cotton and silk are examples of such goods. Cloth can be manufactured today either in hand operated looms or by power looms or in large mills. We will study here how it is produced by handloom weavers. So, by now we have learnt about the goods such as basket which are made from the bamboo and etha and using very few materials, mostly which are from the natural resources. There are many other goods also which require raw material to be processed in a more complex way with a more complex tools, and cloth materials and Clothes which are made up of cotton and silk are few examples for such goods, and clothes can be manufactured by two ways, that is either by hand or either by power looms. Now in the next part, that is part 2 of our chapter, we will learn about the handloom weavers. Let's see about handloom weavers in Pochampali. Pochampali is a small town in Yadadri district in Telangana. The weavers here produce unique sarees called Ikkat sarees, which are world famous. Ikkat is a term used for the particular style in which cloth is dyed, also often referred to Bandhini or Pochampali itself. They are high quality of silk sarees containing simple geometrical designs and available mostly in 3 colors and shades. There are nearly 10,000 weaving families in 100 neighboring villages involved in this craft. So, Pochampali, it is a small town in Yadadri district which is in Telangana, and the weavers here, they are producing the unique sarees which are called as Ikkat sarees. It is the world famous saree. They are of high quality silk sarees which is containing simple geometrical designs, and it is available mostly in 3 colors, and nearly 10,000 weaving families in 100 neighboring villages involved in this craft. Pochampali sarees have a unique design and color which is quite distinct from other silk sarees. That is why it is the first handloom cloth patented in India. This means no other producers of handloom sarees in the world can sell sarees in the name of Pochampali Ikkat sarees. Only those sarees that are produced in Pochampali and its surrounding villages can be sold with this brand name. These sarees are sold in India and abroad at high prices. So, Pochampali sarees, they are having a unique design and color which is quite different from other silk sarees, and that is why it is the first handloom cloth which is patented in India, and this means that no other producers of handloom sarees can sell their sarees by the name of this Ikkat sarees, because only those sarees which are produced in Pochampali and its surrounding villages can sell their sarees by the name of Pochampali Ikkat sarees, means by the name of this brand only they can sell their sarees. Other than them, no one can sell their sarees with the name of this brand. And these sarees are being sold in India and other countries at very high price. To make silk sarees, you need raw materials like silk yarn, colors and cotton thread. They are not produced by weavers. They buy them from the market. Silkworms from which silk yarn is made grow on mulberry leaves. Rearing of silkworms is taken up by small farmers. Cotton is produced in farms and is made into thread either in factories or as a household craft. Colors are often made in factories. Weavers buy yarn and colors from the market. So, silk sarees they are making. So, to make silk sarees we need silk yarn, colors and cotton thread. So, these things they are not produced by the weavers. Instead, this silk yarn they buy from the market, and silkworm, which is a worm, it grows on leaves of mulberry, and rearing of these silkworms is taken by the small farmers, and cotton is produced in the farms and it is made into thread either in the factories or as a household craft. Colors are made in the factory and weavers buy yarn and colors from the market. Let's see about the stages of weaving a saree. There are different stages of weaving a saree. The first is preparing the yarn. Silk yarn is wound on a bobbin. These markings of the designs will help the weavers to identify what colors need to be dyed into which part of the yarn. Dyeing the yarn is a long repeated process. Each color needs to be dyed separately and dried. So, there are different stages of weaving a saree, and the first is preparing a yarn. So, silk yarn, it is wound up with a bobbin and these then marked with a design, and then the markings will help the weavers to identify what colors are needed to be dyed and in which part they should dye the color. And dyeing the yarn, it is a long repeated process and each color needs to be dyed separately. Only when the coloring is completed, the thread can be used for weaving. Let's see dyeing yarn. For dyeing, the silk yarn is taken off, but when it comes dry, and only one method is given here, that is red and brown shades between black and white colors, they are printed using alizarin dyes. Let us look at the account of the visit of weavers' house in Pochampali to know more about ikat cloth materials. Jagathaiya is a resident of Pochampali. All of his family members, he, his wife, his son and daughter-in-law work as weavers. When we visited his house, we found all members in the family engaged in different tasks. While he was winding yarn, his son Murli was engaged in weaving on the maggam set up inside the house. So, there is a story given here of Jagathaiya, who is a resident of Pochampali, and all his family members, which includes his wife, his son and his daughter-in-law, they are all engaged with such work. They all are engaged with weavers' work. And when we visited his house, we found out that all the family members, they are doing different tasks. While this Jagathaiya, he was engaged in winding the yarn, his son Murli was engaged in weaving on the maggam. Other tools such as chitkasu is a curved frame made for weft ikat with pegs on which the weft threads are grouped and tied for dyeing. Panni, achu, thread and rubber tubing were used for different tasks in producing ikat sarees. Most of the tools are made of wood. Since he was grown old, Jagathaiya spends most of the time winding yarn and his son weaves on the looms. So, these are the different materials which are being used in making the silk sarees. And while Jagathaiya he became very old, so his son is handling over the other tasks, whereas this Jagathaiya, he is only winding up the yarn. Jagathaiya wife and daughter-in-law do bobbin winding. Jagathaiya grandchildren are studying in schools. There is some work like wrapping done collectively by group of weavers on streets outside the house. So Jagathaiya's wife and his daughter-in-law, they both do bobbin winding work, and Jagathaiya's grandchildren, they are studying in the schools. Some work like wrapping done and some work like wrapping will be done collectively by group of weavers on streets or outside the house. His son Murli brings all the raw material, dyed silk yarn, zari and design from master weaver and sometimes from cooperative society of which he is member. Jagathaiya gets all the raw materials at a time and weave 8 sarees. The whole family has to work for 12 to 15 hours a day for nearly 50 days to weave 8 sarees. They get about rupees 1200 per saree for the work. Weaving saree is a hereditary occupation for Jagathaiya's family. The income Jagathaiya's family makes from weaving ikat sarees is insufficient to run the family. So his son Murli, he will bring the raw materials like dyed silk, zari and design from the master weaver, and as he is a member from the cooperative society, he will also bring the material from there, and Jagathaiya gets the raw material at a time and weave 8 sarees. The whole family, they has to work 12 to 15 hours a day nearly for 50 days to weave only 8 sarees, and they get about 1200 per saree to the work. So this saree weaving is their hereditary occupation, and the income which they are getting even after doing such hard work is not sufficient for their survival. Earlier, Jagathaiya's family used to weave only for the cooperative society. The cooperative societies provide financial assistance through insurance in case of unexpected illness or death in the weaver's family. They also help in getting loans for construction of houses. Nowadays, the cooperative society does not give sufficient work, so they have to look for additional sources of income to run their families. Since a master weaver in Pochampali agreed to give work and remuneration, Jagathaiya's family began weaving ikat sarees for the master weaver. So earlier, Jagathaiya's family, they used to weave sarees for the cooperative societies. And these cooperative societies, they will provide the financial assistance through the insurance in the case of unexpected illness or death of the weaver. They were also getting loans for construction of their houses. But nowadays, the cooperative society does not give sufficient work. So these people, they have shifted to additional sources of income. And now Jagathaiya's family began weaving ikat sarees for the master weavers. Since master weaver agreed to give work to these weavers in Pochampali. Jagatayya has not given up the membership of the cooperative society with the hope that it will improve its functioning in the future. So, Jagatayya is still the member of this cooperative society, as he hopes that sometimes he will get work from these cooperative societies. Let's see about the weavers' problems and cooperative societies. Telangana is one of the states of India which have a large number of handlooms. During the last few decades, handloom weavers have been facing a serious problems. They face a stiff competition from power loom and mill made clothes. These clothes are cheaper as they are produced on machines, and also because they are synthetic yarn which is cheaper than cotton or silk. Even though it is popular due to its high quality and unique beauty, the Pochampali sarees seem to be expensive. The weavers also do not get good rates due to middlemen's involvement. So, as Telangana is one of the states of India, we are having a large number of handlooms. But during the last few decades, handloom weavers have been facing a serious problem, as they are facing a stiff competition between them and power looms. The clothes which are made from the power looms, they are much cheaper when compared to handlooms, as these clothes which are made from power looms are produced with the help of machines, and the clothes which are made by these handlooms, they are made by the weavers, and it requires so much hard work. Since the cloth which is synthetic and which is produced by the machinery, it is cheaper, so the people, they are going and they are buying such power loom cloth only, and the goods, even though they are having a beauty and they are of high quality which are made from the handlooms, but people cannot afford it, or people are not using those clothes which are made up of handlooms. So, due to this, many hand weavers, they are facing the problems. The buyers are spread all over the world, and weavers do not have any direct contact with them. Fashions in cities change fast, and it is difficult for the weavers to know what kind of design are in demand. Therefore, they have to rely on middlemen to know about the designs in vogue and change their designs accordingly. They also have to depend on middlemen to the raw material like cotton and silk yarn, as they are produced in faraway centers. This gives the middleman an important position in the handloom industry, and they also get the largest share of the saree price. So, as the buyers, they are spread all over the world, these weavers, they are not having any direct contact with these buyers, and fashions in the cities will change fast. So, these hand makers or hand weavers, we can say, they do not have correct idea about the fashion which is running in the city currently. So, there are the middlemen who will give them information about the fashion, and who will provide the raw material like cotton and silk yarn to them. So, like this middlemen, they are having an important position in the handloom industry, and they are also getting the largest share of the saree price. In order to overcome these problems, the weavers are encouraged to form cooperative societies. The cooperative society are meant to help the weavers in buying raw materials at low prices and arrange for marketing of their clothes. This reduces their dependence upon middlemen and traders. The cooperative societies should help the weavers by training in new designs. So, to overcome such problems, the weavers are encouraged to form the cooperative societies, which is helping the weavers to buy raw materials at a cheaper rate and arrange them for the marketing of their cloth. And this also reduces the dependence of the middlemen and traders, and cooperative society is also helping the weavers by giving them training in new designs. A large amount of handloom cloth material in Telangana is produced and marketed by master weaver and merchants. The master weaver and merchants procure all the raw material, supply it to weavers, and collect the cloth, sell this material to wholesale cloth merchants. They pay a stipulated amount as wages for the weaving work. Many master weavers also provide loans to weavers to set up a loom, buy other tools, and thus restrict them from weaving saree or other master weavers. They also decide the wages for the work done by the weavers. Since they are interested in raising their own incomes, it is natural for them to look for ways to pay less to the weavers. So, the cooperative societies should provide work and save the distressed weaving families from the master weavers. So, when we will see such situation, these handloom weavers, they are facing so much problems, and to overcome these problems, they are having only the cooperative societies which could help them. This was all about the chapter 7, that is Handicrafts and Handlooms. So in this chapter we have seen how these handloom weavers, they are facing so much problems, and how the basket weavers have been facing the problems. So in order to overcome from such problems, they should have the cooperative societies which could help them with new designs which are coming in the market, and they should give them the training in new, and they should also give them the trainings. So this was all about our chapter. Let's continue our next chapter in next class. Thank you.